Welcome to the Pulse with Peter Urbina. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we're beginning with one of our favorite segments here on the Pulse and with one of our favorite insiders, and that is our food insider, and that's Daria DeLucia of At Hoboken Eats. Daria?
Hello. That never gets old when you say my last
name. It never
name.
gets old.
I love it.
Right, although Alex Corrado, you remember Alex Corrado?
How could I forget? Who I beat, that
That's
guy?
right, that's right. I took the Pesca at the cook-off. He says it's DeLucia. He's like, you say it wrong. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to say it the Pete Biancamano
I know,
style.
I like it.
What do you
It's got
think?
some flair to it. I love it. I love it.
Well, Daria, it's so good to have you back on.
you.
Daria, I'm wearing the shirt today because, of course, our small businesses are still struggling out there. And here at the Post, we're just going to continue to promote them as much as possible. And there's no better promoter than Miss Daria DeLucia.
And we love our local businesses and fundraising. We love it. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. So, Daria, talk to me now. You've been out and about in the town because I've been, not stalking you, but following you on Instagram. I mean, give me some of your new impressions. I know you were on a few weeks ago, but I'm sure you've been out and about. So.
Yep. So obviously, as last time I was on here, indoor dining is not a thing. So the restaurants are really kicking into high gear with the outdoor dining. All the restaurants that didn't start off with the outdoor parklets now have it. Right. And they're putting flowers there. They're making them look beautiful. They're inviting. They keep you safe because I don't know if you notice those buses when they make turns on Washington Street. It is not well. So it's been great. I actually just tried one of the newest restaurants in Hoboken, Touch the Heart.
Touch the Heart. Where's that located?
It is on it's 324 Washington Street. It's where the Pita Pit used to be.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, you can still get the Pita Pit there. You can still get takeout from there, but it is a American Chinese fusion dim sum with a flower shop inside.
So wait a minute. Now I'm totally confused. I was gonna say, could we start this again? No, I'm kidding. We're not starting this again. So you're telling me that you could still get Pita Pit in there. So is
takeout.
Takeout.
Yeah.
Is it the same owner as Pita Pit?
So the owners of this restaurant are the same owners of Grand Vin, Saku, and Green Rock. So he is the one running it. He is the mastermind behind it, and he brought in an amazing girl who just is killing it with the flowers, and it's just, I went home with a plant, and she told me all about it. It's beautiful, and you think about Saku and Grand Vin specifically, the inside is absolutely stunning.
So what did you have there to eat?
So since it's like dim sum, Matt and I shared everything. We had the sesame chicken lo mein.
Oh, very cool.
We had the surf and turf fried rice.
So lobster and filet mignon, I'm guessing?
It was fantastic. Yeah, fantastic.
Very cool.
And then we had General's Chow. I might be saying it wrong. General's Chow. Fried dumplings.
No way.
Yes. And then pork and crab soup dumplings.
What?
And it was really cool because, again, outside of the box. It's not just going to be your average. It's not going to be your average. It's going to be above and beyond. And so the soup dumplings, usually how they're traditionally made is they're like the fat dumpling and there's a soup right inside of it. What they did is you have the pork and the crab inside of the dumpling, but you take a bite out of the dumpling and then you take a sip of there's a little cup, you take a little sip of the soup with it.
No way.
Yeah. So it's different and it's fun and it's honestly, in my opinion, it's something, it's cool for Hoboken. We don't have a dim sum restaurant in Hoboken, so 100%. I think this is awesome.
I think it's fantastic.
And it's keeping true to Hoboken where we're a little bit different than it's a little bit different than traditional dim sum.
But do you feel, and you just brought up a really, really good point, do you feel that these type of restaurants, where they're creating such a unique menu, are missing in many different communities, and now we have one in Hoboken, which is absolutely fantastic, but it was like when they created, these weird sushi rolls or something like that, but it was still good.
Yeah. Yeah. I weirdly think, I think for the new restaurants opening, and there was quite a few of them in Hoboken, which we can talk about in a minute, but this is kind of a good time. People aren't being able to go out and do anything. They want something new. They want something fresh. So I think that this is, in a weird way, a great time to be bringing in new foods into Hoboken and new experiences and new type of cuisine and dining.
Exactly, because if you look at Hoboken, another pizzeria is opening up.
Another
nail salons, another bar food type of place is opening up. So, best of luck to give me the Touch the Heart.
Yep.
Best of luck to Touch the Heart. Yeah. So talk to me about these new restaurants.
So
these other new restaurants.
There's also Monroe's, all the way downtown. I believe it's where Biggie's used to be, the larger one. Yep.
Okay.
They are. I haven't been yet. Up there. I'm going soon. I'm very, very excited. They have a very big.
This is a first. Daria hasn't been to a new restaurant.
I haven't been yet.
Watch out.
I haven't been yet. But they have a huge parklet outside. I actually walked by it today. It looks fantastic. And they have a little bit of everything. If you check out their menu, they have sushi, they have burgers, but it's also like a fusion type restaurant too. So next time I come back, I'll be sure to give you the full details.
And she will be back soon.
Oh, yeah. Alessio's is new.
Where's that?
They are a little bit more inland. I call inland anything off of Washington.
Anything off Washington's inland, right?
So they have, they have like paninis and pizzas on the menu. It's a little corner shop. I walked by it. Looks super cute. Also excited to try them out as well.
Cool.
And yeah, I believe it's Taleggio's.
Taleggio's.
Okay. If you heard it, I might be butchering the name. I don't think I am, but it's a new Italian restaurant in Hoboken as well. So a lot of fun, new things. Mojo Coffee is new. Went there this weekend.
No, nut-free zone, correct? I think maybe that's
Joey No Nuts.
Joey.
I'll never forget that name. I'm sorry. I love that.
With all these names here in Hoboken. I know.
Yeah, Joey No Nuts.
Mojo's the new one. That's right.
Mojo's
we actually had
new.
Krista on last week, and she spoke.
That's the one
right
next to Zach's.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we tried that too, and it's awesome. I'm excited to go in and try breakfast. We just went in and got coffee, and fantastic. You asked me about chai tea lattes. I probably had one from every single coffee shop in Hoboken. Is my favorite drink. So it was amazing. Mojo, fantastic.
Totally amazing.
Yeah.
So Daria, you actually broke some news last week, and I want you to break it on the Pulse about a restaurant. Yeah, I've been on your Instagram. Don't worry. A restaurant that you actually had the cook-off at with Alex Corrado. Do you remember?
Tutta Pesce isn't leaving. They're just opening somewhere else.
So
oh my
Tutta
God.
Pesce, which was located on 3rd Street or 4th Street, I forgot what it was.
Downtown.
Exactly. Now they're just moving into the back of the city, correct?
Yeah, they're taking over. I think it was a bar that had closed.
Northern Soul.
Yep,
Correct. Yeah.
That closed. So. Could not be happier. That was a dark couple of weeks that we didn't have Tutta Pesce in Hoboken, so I know everyone's really, really excited for them to be back.
It's so funny because it had that niche type of feeling because we just don't have a food mart or a fish type of, a seafood.
Fish mart, yes.
A fish mart, I couldn't think of the word. We have plenty of food marts.
Yes.
Fish mart or a seafood type of restaurant, and we're so glad that they're still here, right?
Yep, could not be happier. And I'm curious. I'm hoping that it's, like the same menu. It's going to have the same vibe because it definitely had a vibe. You felt like I was going, again, different. There's not a lot of fish markets like you said or seafood restaurants specifically.
Right.
But you just kind of felt like, your your mom and dad were cooking for you, which is what I love about the Hoboken restaurants.
Yeah,
it's nice and small and quaint.
So Daria, we do have a bone to pick with you here on North Jersey Cable Access and the Pulse with Peter B. I was just, tuning in to surf, channel surfing last night, and I noticed that you made an appearance on another network, and we could say it, that's fine. There's no competition with the Pulse. We're still the highest rated in North Jersey. Exactly. Talk to me about your experience. Was it Food Network?
It was, it's a cooking channel, which I believe is owned by the Food Network.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Same parent
Food
company.
Paradise, Grub on the Go, Steve's Burger in Garfield.
Wow.
We filmed this almost 2 years ago, and it just aired. Yeah, almost 2 years ago.
See, at the Pulse, we got a quick turnaround. Yeah. Thanks to our staff, right?
But I'm not going to lie. Me and Ralphie and Matt, Ralphie's my dad, we had quite a bit of airtime. I embarrassed myself a little bit with the largest cheeseburger, bigger than my head, shoving it in my face, but you see me do it here too.
Well, Daria, before we go, because we have a few seconds left, and congratulations. I love that you're expanding your horizons outside of the Pulse here.
Still love you guys.
Exactly, of course, and we love you too. Anything that stuck out at you at any of the outdoor seating places, any of the restaurants in Hoboken since the last time you were on? I know we spoke heavily about that the last time, but now it's been almost a month that they've been open. It's been over a month that they've been open. Anything else that has stuck out at you?
Honestly, I feel like there's even more people going out. I think the restaurants kind of started off knowing what they wanted to do, and maybe that first 2 weeks was a little bit of refining a few things, but the food's amazing, the service is amazing, they're doing what they can to get everybody in there, and it's a lot of people are still going out to eat. I think people were nervous in the beginning. I personally received a lot of DMs that they were going to wait a couple weeks. I'm excited to see more people going out and talking about going out. They did take away a lot of the to-go drinks at a lot of the restaurants.
They did. Well, because the governor
Yep. So that was like the main thing that is different. But it's been great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Daria DeLucia of At Hoboken Eats, we look forward to having you on again.
Thanks.
I know your fiance and your dog are waiting for you.
Rigatoni.
Exactly. Little Rigatoni. Give me that Instagram handle for Rigatoni again.
Dude, it's Rigatoni.
Dude,
D-O-O-D.
Fantastic.
Oh, he's barking.
And he's barking now. All right, we're going to commercial. Folks, when we come back, Giant Highness of the Hudson County View will be joining Josh Sotomayor Einstein. You are not going to want to miss it. We'll be back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to visit our Facebook page at the Pulse with Peter B, and make sure you like and follow us on there. We're constantly updating that page with new information. And also on Instagram, for all you grammars out there, make sure you follow us there as well. We're constantly putting these really cool stories, previewing all of our episodes. And if you don't want to DM us through our Instagram or message us through our Facebook, you can always email us. And that's at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hey everyone, back on The Pulse. I'm John Heides of Hudson County View fame, and today I'm joined with Josh Sotomayor-Einstein. Josh, good to see you again.
It's always good to be here with you.
All right. So, no shortage of news this week. It looks like there's a whole lot of topics that go above and beyond COVID, so let's get to it. First of all, the big topic in Jersey City and really Hudson County this week was talking about Liberty State Park. There was been a lot of discussion about expanding the Liberty National Golf Course into Caven Point, which is 22 acres of land. That's part of the greater space at Liberty State Park, of course. So now, in a very strange and unexpected backpedal, I should say, really, Paul Fireman came out yesterday morning and said, we're not going to expand anymore. But it doesn't really feel like the narrative has changed much in terms of what both sides are saying. So what do you think about that?
Well, I thought it was fascinating to see the back and forth. You have the park supremacists attacking the golf course and private business, and then you have private business shooting back that the park supremacists promised there'd be all these community givebacks, like a playground and transportation for people in the nearest residential neighborhood, and pointing out that, you said all these things would be there when you advocated for the park, and they're the parts that aren't there. So where's the community input? Where's the community value for the people that actually live adjacent to there? And it's just this wonderful, brawling match between two sides that don't exactly seem 100% earnest. I'm not saying anyone is actually dishonest, but it seems a little bit disingenuous when people are like, you don't care about the nature, and the other people are like, you don't care about the poor people in the community nearby. And so it's very entertaining to watch. It's also kind of funny because it's a state park. So there's limited amount of pull that the municipality and that sort of hyper-local politics has in there. Not that they don't have an input, but it's very entertaining to watch these people fight to exhaustion and to, I think, their own detriment to a certain degree. And then you have the local community, which is nearby in that area of Jersey City, that's kind of like, well, what about us? And they have a valid question.
So with all that said, and I think that's a pretty fair perspective, with all that said, the Jersey City Council last night approved a resolution, which is of course not binding. It is really more symbolic than anything else, but nonetheless approved a resolution 8-1 that says the state legislators should pass the Liberty State Park Protection Act. The only no vote was Ward F. Councilman Jermaine Robinson, who has obviously been open, friendly, if you will, to the idea of privatization at the park. So any thoughts on that?
Well, it is a huge park. I don't have a problem with privatizing some small portion of it. And I definitely think that those that want to privatize it, when they point out that the park supremacists, have never come through in their promise to have those community givebacks, like the playground on the western portion of it, for people in the nearest residential neighborhood, I think they do have a point. I also am not a fan of symbolic resolutions. The business of our municipal governments should be municipal government, and not just wasting people's time with things that have no effect whatsoever. If Mayor Fulop and the council want to have an impact on that issue, then they should lead their constituents in lobbying the state legislators, the state assemblymen, the state senators, because those are the people that have some influence over that in their capacity in Trenton.
So to your point about it being a state park earlier, obviously that's true, no dispute to that, but that master plan that we've heard about is from 1977, and that was a state master plan. Obviously the moment has passed, it's been 40-something years, but I guess the question would be, like, if people are unhappy with those amenities today, I don't know what they could really do at this point, considering that, that it's so outdated.
Well, I mean, our state assembly people and state senators in Hudson County have a long and high reputation for not doing very much. So if people wanted to band together, whether it was under the leadership of city council people in Jersey City or just regular citizens or, the golf course people, and say, this is what we need to do, and give a petition to the state assembly people that represent the area, I think that's the wisest course of action. I don't think wasting the time of everybody in Jersey City, in a non-binding resolution is the way to go. It's just symbolic politics, and it doesn't get anywhere.
All right, let's move on. I mean, I think we know where you stand on that one. Heck, certainly this one's not over either, so we'll talk about it again, I'm sure.
Well, you said, the master plan is from the 70s. I feel like we have at least another 30 years of this ongoing battle.
I'd say that's probably fair, at least one more lifetime. So with that, though, let's switch over to Hoboken. I know you enjoy talking about especially Hoboken budget, let alone Hoboken politics. So they introduced that $118 million budget, which comes with a 9.8% municipal increase. However, due to the magic of the county this year, that decreased, I think it was 6.4%. So the overall tax bill, as you know, it includes the school, the open space, county, and a couple other things. It's only about a 1.4% increase on the tax bill, at least according to the administration. However, that's before there's any alterations made by the council, or really even anyone asking any questions about what the preliminary budget looks like. So what's your take on all of that?
I think we have a government on every level, local, county, state, and federal, that reaches too far into the people's pocket, and it's morally reprehensible to do so at a time where so many people were laid off, and so many people, it took forever. Some people are actually still waiting to get their unemployment. But the thing that doesn't get smaller, whether it's on a local level or on the state level with Phil Murphy and his administration, is government. So everyone else needs to tighten their belt, and everyone else has. But our government grows fat even in times of crisis.
Yeah, that's a good one. I bet you should start using that on the regular. But
I don't know if I'll remember it. I don't know what comes out of my mouth.
Well, I mean, I'll have to hold you to that next time. So, actually, you mentioned the governor, so I know you wanted to touch on this for just a moment, but there's that nearly $10 billion borrowing plan, which had a preliminary vote on the Senate. I believe it was cleared in committee, so we still have a ways to go, but it looks like this thing is going to happen. I know you're not happy about it, so go ahead and unload for a moment.
Well, A, it's not constitutional. Borrowing has to go before a plebiscite. There's going to be numerous legal challenges, and even our crazy far left activist Supreme Court in New Jersey will have a hard time parsing this so that it becomes legal. But assuming that it does, because we are, super crazy, big spending, high tax state, the amount of money that they're borrowing, about $10 billion, well, when all is told and how much we have to pay back, will be around $40 to $45 billion. And we already owe on past borrowing I think it's over $230 billion. So, it's like you're in debt. It's like you had a little bit of an unforeseen small medical expense, and you owe a couple $100. And to get out of that, you went to a loan shark and you asked to borrow $1,000. And it's just insane and doesn't make any sense. And we need to right-size government. I'm not relishing the idea of anyone losing their job, but the fact of the matter is that even the way government is right now, especially under the Murphy administration, has been horribly ineffective, ineffectual, and negative for the people of New Jersey. On primary day, when we all had to vote by mail, there was lines of thousands of people across the state at the DMVs. And the same day that they opened the DMV, they also furloughed about 40% of the DMV workers.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everyone. We're going to take a break. It's great to be back. We'll see you shortly.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Make sure you watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, FIOS Channel 46, and COMCAST Channel 190. And also, every Sunday, 9:30 a.m., we post our new episode and our segments, our individual segments, on our YouTube page. You're not going to want to miss it. Please subscribe to our channel there. We'll see you there. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back in the host chair. We want to thank John Highness of the Hudson County View for guest hosting the last segment, second time in a few weeks. John, you're always welcome back. Josh, we'll see if you're welcome back or not. But why don't we get to a segment that we haven't had in a few weeks here on the Pulse? I would say a few months, right or wrong?
A few months.
And we have his sports majesty here today,
wow.
and that's Mr. Matt Waymeyer, sports insider on the Pulse. Matt, good to see you again.
God,
How are
I've
you?
missed you.
I missed you too.
I've missed all of you. I hope you've missed me a little bit, but it is good to be back, and we've got a beautiful backdrop here. And it was worth the wait, I would say.
Worth the wait.
Yes.
So speaking of missing things, how badly have you missed baseball, sir?
I've missed it. You know, I haven't missed it as much as I thought I was going to. And I think a lot of fans are in the same boat because of all the negotiations going on between the two sides, how bitter and ugly it got. It turned a lot of fans off. But I think once the games are back and your TV's on and you're in front of your TV with a beverage of your choice and you're just relaxing, you're going to realize how much you've missed baseball. I think that's what's going to happen for me.
That's awesome. And, of course, the baseball season just started this upcoming Friday is
Yes.
opening day for both local teams, and we're going to get to them in a second. Of course, you can watch some summer training right now. We got Mets-Yankees this weekend, so that's always fun.
Yeah.
Why don't we begin with some of these local teams? And why don't we begin with those Bronx Bombers?
Sure.
Huh? It looked like, and I say looked like with parentheses around them, or excuse me, quotations around them, I should say, that they got even better this past offseason, and they were very, very good last year.
Right.
Do you think that they are going to be a contender?
Well, 2 words, Garrett and Cole, are 2 reasons or 2 words why the Yankees are among the cream of the crop, not just in the American League, but in baseball. $324 million contract. He's got a lot to prove. I mean, he's already proven that he is among the game's elite. But as they say, got to earn your pinstripes. You got to do it in New York, and that's the task at hand now for Garrett Cole, again, with that massive, long-term, lucrative contract.
How much is it per pitch, Matt?
Per pitch?
Per pitch. How much is that contract?
Let me get on my abacus. What does it fit, like $1,000 per pitch
Per
or something?
pitch? I mean, per pitch.
That might not be the exact breakdown, but it's not a
damn
bad line
close,
of work.
let's just say.
It's not a bad line of work. But we've seen what he's done the past 2 years for the Astros. Over 300 Ks last year, runner-up to the Cy Young to his teammate, Justin Verlander, then teammate. This guy is a game changer. He is an ace in every sense of the word. He's up there with the DeGroms of the world and position players like Mike Trout, like Christian Yelich, guys that could truly sway the momentum of a pennant race one way or the other. He is that good, and he is that valuable for the Yankees. However, having said all this, as we sit here now, we're just, about 24 hours removed from the news that Domingo Germán, who was going to miss the season anyway because of a domestic violence suspension, he posted something cryptic on Instagram saying that he's basically retiring. And he didn't come right out and say, I'm retiring, but he said, I've left baseball. Thank you to my supporters. We're trying to figure out what exactly this means and what it means for the Yankees. Luis Severino, of course, undergoing Tommy John surgery. That's a big loss. They've still got talent in that rotation. Their top 3 can line up with any top 3 with Cole, Paxton, Masahiro Tanaka, who himself had a scary concussion incident a couple of weeks
line
ago.
drive to the head, correct?
From Giancarlo Stanton, of all people.
Exactly.
But it appears he's going to be okay. But again, that top 3, even without Severino, even without Germán, as good as it gets in baseball. But it's not quite the great top 5 you were hoping for as a Yankee fan. But again,
all right,
you
Matt,
might not
so
need 5 guys.
Does this turn the Yankees from a contender, as I mentioned before, to a pretender? I'm going to put your back against this railing over here.
Not even close.
60-game season. 60-game season. What do you think their record's going to be?
I think through 60 games, I'm going to peg them for 38 wins. So 16 games over 500, 38 and 22. This
might be good enough for best in the division.
I think so. Tampa Bay is going to challenge them. My Red
sleeper.
Sox, I hope will, but I'm not holding my breath because they've got no pitching.
There you go.
But, this Yankee team is loaded. Look at the lineup. If, and again, the ifs with the health with Aaron Judge, but if he can stay healthy, he's as good as it gets. Miguel Andujar missed almost all of last year. He's back and he's healthy. Gleyber Torres as good as it gets in the game. top to bottom, they're stacked. I'm not worried about them.
All right. Well, why don't we go to their crosstown rivals, and that is those New York Metropolitans.
Yes.
I mean, again, of course, there's all this talk about the Wilpon selling the team, and really, I'm sure it's a big distraction for somebody like a Brody Van Wagenen, who is the general manager. But people have said, and writers and so on and so forth, that his offseason was actually pretty decent. So do you think that they got better in the offseason? And that it's good enough for them to make a postseason run in a short season?
Gosh, that's so hard to say. I don't think they got worse.
Okay.
I don't know if they got better.
And that's kind of like the Mets motto: stay average, right?
Right.
Oh my God! It kills us, folks.
Stay the line, toe the line.
Exactly.
I don't think they got worse. Now, one guy that a lot is going to be placed on his shoulders is Marcus Stroman, who was not an off-season acquisition, but a mid-season acquisition in 2019. He was brought over in anticipation that the team was going to lose Zach Wheeler, which they did. He went to their division rival in Philadelphia. Now, the X factor here is that nobody anticipated Noah Syndergaard going down and losing him to Tommy John surgery. So that's a huge loss, and it places even more importance on a guy like Marcus Stroman, who has not had a good spring. Whether that means anything, we don't know. I'm sorry, a good summer training.
Summer traiing.
Yeah. I still
As we sit here on a very hot pier in Hoboken.
95 degrees.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, summer training in every sense.
Yeah.
But he's not had a good few weeks in exhibitions and inter-squad scrimmages. If that means anything, I don't know. You be the judge. But, again, no Wheeler, no Syndergaard, more importance placed on Stroman. And, again, it all comes back to the ace, Jacob deGrom, who I feel the best pitcher in baseball, including Garrett Cole, back-to-back.
32 years old.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he had a back issue flare-up a couple of days ago. He's over it. He threw a bullpen, no discomfort. I think he'll be fine. It was a brief scare for Mets fans. I wouldn't really give it much thought.
You feel like it's deja vu with the Mets, huh?
You kind of do, but it's, DeGrom, he had a few rough starts last year. Wasn't feeling 100%. He bounced back, won another freaking Cy Young. So I'm not too worried about him. But Stroman, big time X factor. A lot of question marks there. Steven Matz, is he finally going to put it together?
All in his head.
And, yeah, it is all in his head. And then the two guys they brought over in the offseason who were going to battle for rotation spots, but now they're going to be in that rotation with the defections and with the injuries. Talking about Michael Wacha, Rick Porcello, a former Cy Young winner. Far from it last year with the Red Sox, but if he can find any semblance of what he was, then all the better for the Mets. And Michael Wacha, he's pitched in a World Series as a rookie. He's got a track record. He's proven. If you can get anything from either one of those guys, big boon for the Mets.
Absolutely. All right, I have to ask you the same question that I asked about the Yankees, and that's your backs against this railing here. Mets record. 60 games.
So much is going to depend on that bullpen. Can Edwin Diaz bounce back? Is Dylan Betances going to be what he once was? I'm gonna go a little conservative, only because their division is an absolute. It could be a bloodbath with the world champion Nationals, the Braves. So many good teams in that division. I'm going to go a little conservative and say 34-26.
Enough to get into the postseason.
Borderline.
Well, we shall see. You heard it here on the Pulse first here, folks. Matt Waymeyer, our Sports Insider. Great to see you again.
Great to see you. I've missed you.
I missed you, too, and we're going to have him back because other sports are coming back, as we all know. But baseball is first of the four major sports, so look out for Matt sitting right back in that chair. Folks, thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week for the Pulse on everything you need to know. Have a great week, everybody. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to visit our Facebook page at the Pulse with Peter B. and make sure you like and follow us on there. We're constantly updating that page with new information. And also on Instagram, for all you grammars out there, make sure you follow us there as well. We're constantly putting these really cool stories, previewing all of our episodes. And if you don't want to DM us through our Instagram or message us through our Facebook, you can always email us. And that's at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.